Hey y'all. So I wanted to kind of touch on in this video a little bit about anxiety. Um, because I'm experiencing some of that right now, and I wanted to talk about that, especially in relation to ride sharing. So you come into contact with a lot of different people, whether it's the pedestrians, whether it's the riders who get in your car. um, you know, uh, Police officials, security officials that you have to come in contact with to get inside of apartment gates, bus drivers, all kinds of traffic, all kinds of people. So it can really take a toll, especially on people that aren't as used to interacting with so many people. So I did want to make just like one of many um, videos about like dealing with anxiety. Um, Me specifically, like I was just dealing with the anxiety of like just getting started with my ride sharing shift. So I usually do it for like 10 to 12 hours, and I had some anxiety around like financial issues, um like if it would be worth it for me to drive. So that's that can be the start of like a anxious like shift while you're driving, is if you already start out rushing or feeling rushed or being rushed. um like one thing that you like I would recommend, like if you are like thinking about doing ride sharing either part-time or full-time, is knowing that whenever you get started is when you get started. There's no, especially in the world of driving, like if you think about all the times that you've rushed, to get somewhere or to drive somewhere, like how much time have you really saved? And you think you're going a lot faster than you really are, and then you also make a lot of mistakes, and that's especially in the environment that I drive in with a lot of people and stuff. You want to be in a calmer, just more relaxed state. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of the things and people that can cause anxiety. So like I said, the riders, like if they're in a rush and they want you to rush, navigating the Lyft app. I don't think people talk about that as much, but even navigating the app can cause anxiety, especially if the app isn't working. If you have to turn your phone off and turn it back on, or like swipe out of the app and open it back up, because a lot of times those ride sharing apps, they have malfunctioning issues with the GPS, with picking people up, with you figuring out where somebody is. And during a busy time like Mardi Gras or a football game, that can be very stressful. And then you're trying to call somebody or text somebody to see where they are, but you're also trying to navigate traffic. So that alone can cause a lot of anxiety. Not to mention, not to mention just um, maintaining your health, because you're sitting down for a long period of time. You may be going a while without eating. And one thing also too that I thought about is just like trying to use the restroom, like when you're in the middle of a ride and you have to um, use the rest. Sometimes it can be really stressful as a Lyft driver just trying to find somewhere to use the restroom, especially like if you're driving in the middle of the night or at night when some places are closed. Some places have public restrooms, some places don't. Then you're trying to pick up the rider, and so people don't think about that. Keeping your car clean, having riders that aren't as sanitary, that cough and aren't as like hygienic, that can cause anxiety. So yeah, I wanted to make this video first of all to acknowledge that, and to acknowledge that if you are feeling that, you're not alone, and also like if you are thinking about doing this in any capacity, those are some things to think about, like traffic jams, loud noises, safety where you're driving. I can't tell you how many situations I've been in where I've either picked somebody up or I was dropping somebody off, and I'm dropping them off in a confrontational um, scenario where I've seen someone um, get a gun pulled out on them. I've watched couples argue. I've watched you know um, like very like serious verbal altercations. So not to be negative, but just to admit the reality of it. And now I've been driving for 4 or 5 years, and so I will say most interactions are not like that. But you do have to take that into account, especially when you're driving at night. So, what are some ways to combat that anxiety that can arise from those various things? Um, I say find a good like regimen plan as far as um like ways to keep your car clean, what you're gonna eat or drink while you're on the road, um, how you're gonna address like situations where people may make you uncomfortable or say things that make you uncomfortable. Like just having a plan. So I always carry disinfectant wipes in my car, in case anything is to ever happen. Thankfully, nobody has ever like thrown up or anything in my car. Um, But usually, like if I come across a hygienic situation that's not, an unsanitary situation, I will either like roll down my windows to let some fresh air come through. Um, I might, pull over after I drop the person off and just kind of take a breath, and try to relax and recenter myself on the purpose of me driving, and the fact that like I said earlier, you don't have to rush to do anything like this. You try to make it to where it's on your time, because if you're rushing, you're going to make mistakes. You're gonna, go the wrong way trying to hurry up and get somebody there 30 seconds faster than if you would have just driven in a regular speed. So I always just try to, like, no matter the situation, no matter why you're anxious, even if you're thinking about something that has nothing to do with ride sharing, which can happen often, like your mind can kind of drift on, issues that you may have outside of this. But try to always like be in the present moment, like recenter yourself, and realize that you make as much as you can, and then you be as safe as you can, and that's the best you can do. So I try to focus on like things that are like presently around me. I try to focus on my body. If I have time, I'll like pull over somewhere that's safe, and I'll stretch, and I'll try to just like get back into my body, maybe do like a little meditation. It also helps to like be on the phone with somebody, not to where it will distract you, but to have somebody on the phone, like, just to kind of like somebody who knows you well, who can kind of just like ground you back into who you are. Um, because like I said, coming into contact with so many different people and energies, it can be very stressful and draining. And also driving itself can be very draining. So that, acknowledge that, and break your shift up the way you want to. You can do 3 4 hour shifts in a day, or 2 6 hour shifts, or whatever makes you comfortable. But yeah, I'm gonna post more videos about this, because it is important to take care of yourself, and also being mindful of what you're eating and drinking while you're on the road. That can also contribute to anxiety. If you're eating, things that, or drinking things that make you anxious, like coffee. Um, I have a bad habit of going to going to certain restaurants and getting a sweet tea, because I feel like it perks me up in the moment, but still it's a lot of caffeine. So things that can make you jittery, like a lot of sugary drinks, I have a real bad habit of getting those. So those can also make you anxious. So just try to find some, healthier alternatives. Try to like pinpoint some restaurants in the location. Like if you just get to the point to where you're so hungry and you have to stop, that you have healthy options that you've already thought about. Because a lot of times, if you're not anticipating eating, you end up eating something that you're not supposed to, which can in turn contribute to your anxiety. And like I said, stretching, having a game plan for when you feel uncomfortable. I know it's really easy for the employees that work for Lyft that you call, like if you ever have an issue, it's easy for them to say to just pull over and you know kick somebody out. But it's a little different when you're actually in the car with the person. So have a game plan for just protecting yourself, for how you will handle situations where people say things either sexually or about race, things that we aren't supposed to talk about, or things that make you uncomfortable. Just have a game plan, like talk it out with your friends, like okay, you pretend to be a rider and I'm going to be the driver, and I'm going to have to address specific situations. It really does help, because a lot of people, even though they know the rules, they will kind of push the boundaries of talking about things that they're not supposed to talk about, and that can affect your day. That can affect you driving safely. It can affect you, when somebody gets your head out of the game, like it can definitely put a a rut in the rest of your day. So think about those things. And like I said, disinfection, when um unsanitary things happen, and things like that. um Good escape routes if you're caught in traffic jams. Like really get to know the area that you're driving in, and if all else fails, just pull over and stop until you feel comfortable enough to get back on the road. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope that y'all are being safe on the road. I made this because I didn't, another thing is like getting enough sleep. And I didn't sleep well last night, like at all. So I'm kind of starting my shift out not feeling so well. So I'm kind of trying to like navigate that. Like, how should I navigate my day now that I've gotten a lack of sleep? Because that's probably one of the most important things, as far as like feeling well rested and not, being anxious, and being in a good, healthy state to start your day out. Um, but yeah, so if anybody has any other things that they want to add on to that, then feel free. But I'm gonna make, like I said, a couple other videos to talk about like some things that you can do to combat your anxiety on the road. But if you all are enjoying the videos, subscribe to my channel, Lost Art 2839, and I will talk to y'all later.